Okay, this is going to be part 5, and what we have here is we have an Italian Carcano 1891/28 Troupe Special carbine. Now the Troupe Special carbines, probably out of all the different variations, this is the one that's going to give people the most trouble. It's the most confusing. The reason was there are several variations, and the first one we start off with is just the plain 1891 Troupe Special. These were made by Brescia until 1919. And what it was, the difference between it would be, in the front here it had a different nose cap and a different style bayonet that was unique only to that gun. There was a little bar or something welded on here. I've seen photographs of it. And the bayonet would lock and twist on. And this nose cap was different, and the sling swivel kind of came down. That was the original one. Now, most of them were either reworked and redesigned and after the war. So this is where you're going to start getting into the confusion and problems. I've seen pictures of originals, but I've never actually seen an original one. The next modification would be the 9124. And basically what that was, it'll look just like this. Short 17.5-inch barrel, but it was cut down from a long rifle. Okay, and how you can distinguish that, if you look, I have a long rifle here. What they did is when they cut the rifles down, they retained the larger, longer rifle sight instead of this carbine sight. So you'll have a gun that looks like this with this giant sight on there. That would be the model 9124. Now this one is the next model, the 9128. This particular gun was manufactured by Beretta in 1929. And it's configured with the now acceptable Troupe Special with the bayonet lug and that. And it's just a basic Carcano. It has a basic Carcano action with the bent down bolt handle, carbine sights, much just like the video on sights, much like the cavalry model, same sight exactly. Down here is 500 yards, first bump up is 6, and I guess your battle sight is there flipped over. But also this rifle accepts the standard sword bayonet, which, which I think the reason they modified the early ones with the special bayonet is the ease that the one bayonet, other than the cavalry guns with the folding bayonet, the one bayonet will fit on all the guns. And that's why I think they modified a lot of the earlier versions. So it uses the standard sword style bayonet, which goes on the long rifle. Okay, so that's that. We'll take a look at the markings here on the barrel. Now, right there, if you notice on the rifle, usually they put the date on this side where the serial number is. But here, they have the date. I can't really make out what that word is. And it's 1929, the Roman numeral 5 and then 3, and then a word there, I'm not quite sure what it is. And then we have Beretta up at the top, and the serial number. And like I said, standard Carcano action, nothing special. Now the thing about this is when I took this gun apart, which I'm kind of nervous about it, it looks like where the date was on the other rifle has been ground and then refinished. If you look at the rifle sight and you see where that little band comes around the rear sight and the stock's carved out, there's a little recess there. You can probably see it right there. When I took this rifle apart, This stock had that little recess like it was a rifle stock cut down. And the only other markings on this is there's a number 11 stamped there. I think another number stamped somewhere here, 11 or something. So this gun may have been reissued and had these rack numbers put on there for something else. I'm not sure. But that's what's going to, and the thing is with the cut down rifles, if they had the game twist rifling in them, these little short carbines, the bullets will keyhole at like 25 yards. They're not stable, because when they cut the rifle down to like, you know, about 17 inches with this game twist rifling in this long gun, it progresses as it goes down to 30 inch length. But when you cut it off, it's not getting enough spin, and then when the bullet comes out this short barrel, it's unstable. So that's a problem with the 24s, and I don't know about this one. I don't know if I got a cut down rifle barrel or not on this. We'll have to find out once we go to shoot it. As I mentioned, the first three variations, there are two more after it. There'd be a 38 Troupe Special, which would look like this, except it would have a fixed sight instead of the adjustable sight, and be in a 7.35 caliber. And then lastly, after they dropped the larger caliber, they would go back to manufacturing the 91 38 Troupe Special, which would be a 6.5 caliber, and the only difference is it would have a fixed sight on there instead of the adjustable. And there's a lot of variations and reworked, re-arsenal things over the years, so it's pretty confusing. So the little short carbines are the ones that are the most troublesome and hard to pin down on exactly what you got. And there are a lot of variations. So, and I only have the one example. I wish I had a couple other examples to compare side by side, but right at the moment I don't. If I do pick some up in the future, I will do a video on the variation and use this one here also with it for a comparison. Okay.